Now, the 38th annual Good Friday church service is currently underway in the Durban CBD. Different churches are conducting a silent procession as a reflection of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Premier Nomusa Dube-Ncube and Mayor Modise are also in attendance. In fact, Modise is watching the story for us and joins us now live. And Nobuhle, it's a service that started way earlier on this morning before the sun rose. It's looking much brighter now. What's happening now?
Actually have just come from the procession on the street where the cross was being held, and some of the cross bearers included several people from different sectors in society, like those from gender-based violence organizations and from other different organizations. And as the procession was taking place, we walked around and then came back all the way here, and as we were walking, those different sectors were then handing the cross to each other. And then the most significant was when the cross was handed over to provincial leadership as a sign that whatever was being discussed in 1985 when Archbishop Dennis Hurley was handing over the cross to the leadership at the time of the city, was that whatever issues that there are there now, it's now in the hands of the leadership to ensure that those changes are applied in society. I want to bring in the Premier of the province, Nomusa Dube-Ncube, just to speak about their significance of being here today. We did see the cross being handed over to them. They also did take part in the procession walk throughout the city. Just speak to us about the significance, Premier, of you being here today.
Well, it is important. It's an important day in the calendar of us as Christians, and we joined the Diaconia Council of Churches here this morning to ensure, but also to give our commitment to working together with the church to address the many social ills that we are facing as a community. You'll also remember that at this time last year, we were approaching a very difficult time of disasters that befell our province. And as we remember those that have passed on, but also trying to recover from rebuilding all the infrastructure, all the lives that perished during those floods, it is important that we reflect, but also we thank God that through it all we have been able to stand up and be able to deliver to our communities, particularly those that still do not have essential services. So the church plays an important role in working together with government and binding all the non-governmental organizations to ensure that the poor are taken care of, the hungry are taken care of, and we've been working very well with the churches here in KwaZulu-Natal.
And then lastly, Premier, I know you have to go at the moment, but I just want to find out, how did the city support this particular procession that took place this morning? Because we did see Metro Police vehicles.
Well, we've been supporting the church in ensuring that this is a success. And of course, you would have seen as well that part of our work, working with the church as well, is to ensure that our city is clean, but also to ensure that our city is safe. You might have seen that a number of people arrived here while it was still dark, and everybody came knowing that they were safe. Everybody came knowing that there was nothing that they could be afraid of. And this is part of the work that we have been doing in intensifying the fight against crime, but also ensuring that communities work with us as government in pushing back the criminals. And we are going to be continuing from here with other church gatherings, but our message again is that government and church, as well as all other non-governmental organizations, need to hold hands and stand and be able to help those that are helpless, to feed those that need support from all of us as communities, as government.
Thank you very much. That is the Premier of the province, Nomusa Dube-Ncube, just telling us what the significance of their presence here is today. We are at the last part of the service. As I mentioned earlier, we did have the procession. We came back here, and this is the last part of proceedings. I'm going to move out of shot so my colleague Ngelozungu can just show you what is happening. The last part of the service was the people that are here now flowering that particular cross that was being carried around until we got here. And, you know, as I said earlier, that the service this year year was focusing on the theme of abundance, and the theme looks at some of the stumbling blocks to living life abundantly, including gender-based violence, as I mentioned, recovering after COVID, rebuilding after the floods, poverty and homelessness, xenophobia, crime and corruption, and a lack of opportunities for young people. So those were the themes that were being explored in today's sermon, and as that cross was being handed over, it was being handed over to different sectors of society until it was handed over to provincial leadership, who then, the significance of that is that it's then up to them to ensure that those social ills are indeed dealt with.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a service taking place within the context of very significant ancient and more recent history. Nobuhle Modise, live to us there from the Durban City Hall. Thanks very much indeed.